vibrato right now, and you might be wondering what's wrong with it. What do I not like? And the fact is, it's just too tight. Yeah. And the way I notice this is if I take my chin off the violin, this is what happens. It's just, while I'm vibrating, it's just shaking. So I decided that I want to change that. I want to get a little bit more of a wrist vibrato, kind of change my vibrato, rewire the circuitry, I guess, so to speak. So what I'm doing right now is some Fischer exercises, and what kind of really surprised me is when just the first page that I printed out here, there's like a paragraph that talks about that the thumb goes in the opposite direction of the vibrato. So the forward motion is like this, and the thumb rotates in the opposite direction. So this kind of, yeah, when I read that, I was like, well, my thumb doesn't do that. That's not the case. So yeah, these exercises are really painfully basic, and they don't sound good, and it may seem like a waste of time. But I would highly recommend to look into these if you're having any tension in your vibrato left hand. Going back to the basics is likely to improve everything, into the advanced repertoire. So I'm just going to give an example of this first exercise. It actually says exercise 3, but so it has to do with the thumb going in the opposite direction. You set the metronome to 60. Do that right here. And yeah, I'll just demonstrate here. So basically you're doing one, I guess, oscillation per beat in this first exercise, and then you vibrate normally on one note towards, after a couple of repetitions. And so one thing this has made me aware of, which I'm now kind of building on, which has eluded me, I guess, for many, many years, is that the vibrato, even if you're doing wrist or arm vibrato, has just as much to do with the fingers as with the motion coming from your arm and also from your back. But that your fingers are active as well, and so you're not pulling and pushing against the neck of your violin like I've been doing for like 15 years. But you have an active finger, and in a way you're moving and oscillating around this fingerboard. Of course, there is, you're touching the violin, and it's not like there's literally no pressure or rubbing against the neck of the violin. But it's important, I think, that it's significantly less than I thought. So I just want to share that. This is an ongoing learning curve for me with the vibrato. I've been playing for 20 years, violin for 20 years, so it kind of takes, you gotta kind of jump over your own shadow, so to speak. And yeah, so I hope this, if you're watching this and you play violin, this is helpful. A quick add-on to this exercise, with the thumb moving in the opposite direction. When you're vibrating normally, kind of at the end of the part where you're concentrating on the basic motion and also that your thumb is going in the opposite direction, it's important to forget all that kind of, you just want to vibrate normally, but feel that your finger is moving too. That it's not just your arm, that your finger is basically active. Yeah, just feel your finger being active, but also that it's very, very, very light. And do that with each finger. It says here to do it on each string with each finger. I wouldn't go too overboard with it. At some point, it becomes, there's only so much time you can spend on kind of relearning something, or if you're starting to learn vibrato, to learn it. You can't force yourself to learn it. It has to, your body kind of has to adjust naturally to it. So those are my thoughts on that.